Hi everyone. So almost after 3 months we are set on to make a video. So sorry because we were having a lot of work and so we could not make the videos. So come on. Okay, so today we will learn major landforms of the earth. So let's start learning. So major landforms of the earth. Now within the earth, so within the earth the continuous movement is being taking place. Okay, so there is continuous motion inside the earth. Everything you see is in motion. So motion is the law of the whole world. Okay, suppose you know that the earth has two types of motion. One is rotation and another one is revolution. But everything including us is having certain type of motion. Even the cells within our body are also having a motion. It's like I'll give an example to you. Okay, you see the soil. Okay, all we have seen soil, right? So under the soil, if you dig 70 meters under the soil, you'll find rocks. What will you find? And under these rocks you will find the one thing that I am writing. You'll find that. Sorry. I'll write it again clearly so that you can understand. Yes, we find tectonic plates inside the earth. What are these plates? These plates are taken as imaginary rocks, okay, which are continuously moving. So these plates, they are continuously moving, and due to their movement, what will happen? Now you learn in this chapter. So the first is the internal process which leads to the upliftment and sinking of the earth's surface at several places. Now these tectonic plates are continuously moving, and suppose one tectonic plate I am showing you with different colors. Suppose red color, okay, I am showing you A. Suppose plate A, and another color, let's take it on blue color. So sorry everyone, let's take it on blue color, B. Okay, so suppose this tectonic plate B is moving towards the arrow which I saw you, and tectonic plate A is also moving in the same direction. They will crash over here. Okay, they will crash over here, and you will find a new land which is formed. Okay, due to the crashing of this plate. Okay, so do you understand? I'll understand you more better. Suppose the land was plain here like this. I know brown color shade I am picking. Second, another dark brown color. Okay, another land was like this, dark brown color. Okay, plates are moving inside. Okay, please remember, please don't forget A and B. A we wrote with, A we wrote with this. Sorry everyone, I'm really sorry. Sorry everyone, sorry. So A we wrote with this color, and we wrote B with this color. So these two forces are acting, as I say. Two forces are acting, and therefore they meet. And what will happen to this brown land? They are under them. Okay, just think which they are under them. Okay, so this will rise suddenly. Okay, so what is happening over here? So see the bed. So here now we learn about the process. So we know how a land is sliding up each and every day. Okay, by the movement of the tectonic plates. So now we learn the second point, and that is the first is the internal process which leads to the upliftment and the sinking of the earth's surface at several places. So upliftment means, and sinking means, do you understand? Upliftment means, see, I'm doing once more. Upliftment means this, sinking means this. Understood? Upliftment, sinking. Okay, done. So the first process, upliftment and sinking. Now why is it? Due to internal process, due to again movement of tectonic plates. Now sinking also, see, you consider tectonic plates. Okay, we were considering B and C, right? We'll consider them only. Wait, this is B, right? We're considering B as this color, okay, or a light color, I don't know. Consider blue as B and this green color is C, right? So these two colors, these are tectonic plates, okay? Now how sinking will occur? And is and a here, wait. Okay, I just took the darker colors. So while this tectonic plate is moving over here and B tectonic plate is moving over here, okay, it's going towards this side, see, we'll see, okay, everyone, see a dark space, this one is created between B and C, okay, so therefore this leads to the sinking. So here land is rising due to this because they are clashing and they are moving away, that means sinking will occur. Now do you understand? I think yes. The second is the external process. Okay, this is the internal process. Okay, inside the earth it's occurring. Now external process. It's due to the continuously wearing down or rebuilding of land surface. Suppose a river is flowing. I'll give an example right now. Suppose a river is flowing. The river is flowing, okay, and you know what happens? And the soil particles over here. Just let me check. Soil particles are over here. Now, as the water is flowing over here, it will take, okay, it will take some soil particles along with it, mix up, okay, and therefore the soil particle, the concentration of the soil particle over here gets reduced and the river is flowing, okay. Suppose the river will flow till here, okay, here. So now what will happen? The water is coming also along with it. What I'll show you, water is coming, many soils are being mixed, the color is being darker, okay, water is flowing over here, and what will happen? They are also depositing soil, so that means as with water also, okay, with water also they are depositing their soils also in those valleys, okay, shit. In those valleys, they are depositing the soils which they were carrying. They were carrying soil particles, no, over here. So they are depositing, and therefore here also soil will come, and more concentration of soil will form here. So do you understand? These are various agents, okay. If I can show you with the animation, then it's well and good. But if I can't, then I would like to teach you by drawing diagrams and etc. So, okay, I will show you some pictures if you want. Okay. So the wearing away of the earth's surface is called erosion. So the process which I drew at the top, okay, like the river which was picking up silt, the river was picking up silt. This was known as erosion. Okay. The surface is being the surface is being lowered in this process. So in this process, surface is being lowered. I told you, no, there is less concentration now. Okay, so surface is being lowered by this process of erosion and rebuild by the process of deposition. Now the ones which you saw here the river was giving out soil. So the surface area was rising, and therefore this is known as deposition. So here the surface area is lowering, and here surface area is rising. So therefore this is known as erosion and this is known as deposition. Okay, so you understand very well two different types of things. Okay, So the process which are carried out by these two processes are carrying out by running water, wind and ice. So these I made you see only by the example of running water, ice and wind. I didn't show you, but then no problem. These are also carried out by ice and wind. So the different landforms depending on the elevation and slope are the mountains, plateaus and plains. So due to this weathering and erosion process, there are various type of mountains, plateaus and plains. So if you are a little intelligent, you can understand that how are they formed. Now let's look into them. Okay, mountain. Now first you need to know the definition. Okay, probably I say you mountain and you know what is mountain. That's not the thing. Okay, so mountain is any natural elevation of the earth's surface with a peak or summit. Have you been to the Himalayas? Then you must have seen that okay, then you must have, if you have went there, okay, if you go there, then you will see that there are certain peaks and summits. There are big rock structures. Those are known as mountains. Okay, they are all formed by this method. Okay, they are known as mountains. In some mountains there are permanently frozen rivers of ice. They are called glaciers. So in class 3 or 4, I think you have heard about the Gangotri and the Yamunotri glaciers. Gangotri is giving rise to Ganga, Yamunotri is giving rise to Yamuna. So these frozen rivers of ice, they are known as glaciers. They are all the snow coming from the mountain. Okay. Okay, next, a continuous chain of mountains over a large area is called range. Means peak after peak, peak after peak, peak after peak. This is known as range, like the Himalayas. The Himalayas, Alps, Andes in Asia, Europe and South America respectively has some of the leading mountains. So Himalayas, you must have gone at least once in Himalayas. Okay, the Alps and the Andes. Alps is present in Europe and Andes is present in South America. Okay, so these are the leading mountains. There are 3 types of mountains: fold mountains, block mountains and volcanic mountains. So what is this fold mountains? Do you remember the process I showed you? Do you remember the process I showed you when at the beginning of the chapter, where the land was folding in like this way? This is known as fold mountains. This is how fold mountains are formed. Okay. Next type is block mountains. So what are block mountains? Block mountains are the fold mountains that see. Now everything cannot be this, right? Everything cannot be this. Certain types of other degradation also can take place. So what are block mountains? Sorry, very sorry. Okay. Sheets are being eroded. Erosion is being taken place from here. Okay, erosion took place and therefore they form block. Next, volcanic mountains. Now volcanic mountains, you must have heard the name volcano. That is lava, fire, etc. They are urging out from the mountains vent, right? A hollow crater, I think so. Okay, so these are the volcanic mountains. So the volcano rocks, you will see some volcanic soil are also being deposited. The ash, lava, etc. they will form certain type of rocks. So these are known as volcanic rocks, and these volcanic rocks form volcanic mountains. It's very easy. Now, what are the uses of mountains? They are storehouse for water. Many mountains are storehouse of, first of all, they are storehouse of snow, okay? And if they are being lowered at a temperature, then we can get water. Okay, so they are storehouses of water. So further, they are forests which give us fuel, fodder, shelter and other products. Okay, so they give us fuel. In what way? Some mountains have high deposits of petrol, diesel, so they give us petroleum, okay? They have to be filtered and therefore they get fuel. Fodder, when then in mountains they stay a lot of sheep and etc. So you need grass. So the taiga region in the mountain, we'll learn later, they are grasslands. So you can have grass. Fodder. Shelter. Yes, there are everything in the mountains. Nowadays there are houses in the mountains or shelter and other products. Medicines are the most important thing for Ayurveda, which we have. The most important constituent of Ayurveda is medicine. So these medicines are from where? Mountains. Okay, now plateau. Plateau is a flat top tableland. It is an elevated flatland. Flat top tableland. It is a elevated flat. Now I will draw the structure. Okay, First of all, I wanted to ask you all, have you ever been to the states of you can have Maharashtra or maybe South India, I mean Orissa or Tamil Nadu or Karnataka or Andhra Pradesh or not Kerala, so Telangana. Have you been ever to there? Okay, at least one you must have gone. Okay, and if you haven't, I'll show you how are they formed. Wait. Here, tableland. Okay. See, it's a form of a table, no? Look over here. There is just a form of a table, okay? So, you get up. This is a form of a table, okay? But in the top terrace, you have a flat land. You see flat? Top terrace, you have a flat land. These are the types of plateaus. So, Deccan Plateau in India is one of the oldest plateaus. So, the oldest plateau in India is the Deccan Plateau. Okay? And not only India, it's the oldest landform of India also. Not only plateau, it's the oldest landform of India also. There are three types of plateau in India: Malwa Plateau, Deccan Plateau, and Chota Nagpur Plateau. Okay, oldest one is Deccan Plateau, largest one is Deccan Plateau. Okay, you will find them. I told you the states where you can visit to see the plateau region. Very interesting. You can go and have a look. So these are one of the oldest plateaus. Okay, plateaus are useful and are rich to mineral deposits. So whenever you must have heard in your history classes that during in the Harappan civilization chapter, you must have seen that the imported gold from Karnataka, right? So gold, okay, high amount of mineral deposits, gold is found from Karnataka. And where is Karnataka? In the Deccan Plateau. Okay, so plateaus are a storehouse of minerals, metals, valuable. Okay, mining can take place very well over here. Okay, so next, many plateaus have waterfalls. The lava plateaus have good soil for cultivation, especially the basaltic lava rock. They will form black soil, which is excellent for the cotton to grow. Okay, over there. Okay, so many plateaus have waterfalls. So what is this exactly waterfalls? Waterfalls means, I hope you went to Jharkhand at least once. We can see a lot of waterfalls and you will see them in Deccan Plateau as well. Okay, I am drawing a plateau and I am showing you if you haven't. Okay, here comes the plateau, a schematic diagram, and now a little bit of water. Okay, so water will be falling down from, suppose water is flowing a slope land. Okay, suppose water is flowing in this flat land. Okay, I'll take a flat land and wait, sorry. This one change I want to make is that here you have the flat land. Okay, and here you get the table. Okay, understood? No? Now see, flat land, the water will flow like this, and suddenly when you get a stair, the water will fall like this, right? It will take a bend and it will fall, right? So therefore, here we get the waterfalls. This is how we get the waterfalls. Okay, very beautiful. You can have a look over there. Okay, next, plains. Plains are low-lying areas and flat stretches of land. Flat, fully flat. I'll represent. So students, I am representing all of them with their colors, which you will have to do in the map. Like plateaus have to be colored in yellow or orange in the map. Okay, mountains with brown and plains with green. Okay, so I'll do green over here. Here is the plain. Okay, take a look. See, here is the plain. Now, plain is the low-lying and flat stretches of land. Okay, flat you can see over here. They may be extremely level. Okay, slight rolling or undulating, slightly rolling or means they can be fully straight or slightly rolling, but not as steep as mountains, not as steep as plateaus. They are extremely flat. They are not steep slopes. They are not slopes only. They are flat lands. Okay, and undulated. Plains are fertile. Okay, because they are not steep. They are fertile. Okay, because then crops can grow easily over here, right? They are good for cultivation, transport, and habitation. So they are cultivation, for transport, for habitation. They are good because where you have more crops, you have more wages, you have more food, you have more money you will get over there if you stay. So most of the population of India, they stay in the northern plains. Okay, plains are found in India in the northern plains. Very good. So landforms and the people. Human settlements are dependent upon types of landforms. So this human settlements, they are always dependent on nature, and nature means they are dependent on landforms. Okay, now areas which are dangerous or isolated have less habitation as compared to the areas which are palm or rich in minerals. So you will say, then why are they staying in the plains? Why not in the plateaus? Yes, they do stay in the plateaus, but more in plains because yes, you're right. Because first, people's thinking is about their food, and which is grown in the plains. Okay, and then they will go and collect gold. Okay, first I need to have food, then I will go and collect gold. Okay, so this is, and deserts, very scarce of people because why? Because nothing is there, nor any minerals, nor any food, nothing, very less. Scarcity of people will stay there, and then you don't have water there, so barren. Okay, so this was a video. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.